Hey kids, comics. Silver-haired Bronze Age babe here, yakking about our comic book collection, and today a video about an amazing AOK that Solid Force String back end Shannon sent to me this week. He and I share an admiration for Jack Kirby's work, and in particular some of his romance comic books. Now, this hardcover book showed up this week, and I had never seen it or heard of it. And imagine my thrill when I opened it up to realize that what this contains are 3 unpublished comic magazines that Kirby came up with when he was at DC back in 1970. Now there are 2 such magazine books that did come out, and I have one of them. It's called Spirit World, and in fact, here's a ad for that. There's also one on mobsters. I don't have that one, but Spirit World is one of my favorite parts of my collection because it's all Jack Kirby art, all Jack Kirby stories featuring stuff of the supernatural. Sadly, it lasted one whole issue before it just disappeared into the ether. What I didn't know is that Kirby had plans to do 3 other similar books, one of which was called True Life Divorce. And what you see in this book is the original artwork and concepts for what that comic magazine was going to have. And it is absolutely fantastic. The divorce stuff is just, to me, it's the strongest of the 3 books. And it really fits in nicely with the research that I've been doing about how the comic book industry dealt with second wave feminism in the 70s. This is really interesting. It doesn't talk about it dead on specifically, but what you get from the theme of all these stories, which by the way are told from the man's point of view, is that basically women at work, not a good idea. So marriages break up, relationships falter, and at the crux of it is often a woman who is working. By the way, look at that. I mean, is that just... I love how Jack Kirby was drawing women. Not only could he do kind of voluptuous and buxom and, attractive, but he also wasn't afraid to show women who looked like real live women of their age. God, love him. So this is absolutely fantastic stuff. And the second book in this book was going to be about for African American readers, and it was going to be called, let me get to this, Soul Love. And this is a mock-up cover of what the writers of this book assumed the final version would look like. And again, the artwork in here is terrific. I don't think the stories are quite as strong as they are in the divorce one, but it's just a treat to dive into these stories and these panels and see Kirby's work displayed so fully. They even went so far as to put in some ads because they were hoping to make this a national, attractive to national advertisers. But anyway, so that's fantastic. Oh, and there's a good. These are the 2 books that came out. I don't have the Mob one, but I do have Spirit World. And if you're a Jack Kirby fan and you don't have that one, you might want to talk about it. And a wonderful in the Soul Love book, they talked about the Equal Rights Amendment. They talked about the women's movement kind of indirectly in a very positive way. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on. back then, and it is such a shame that it just didn't find its way into the collective sales of the DC game. Now, the final book is called Dingbats of Danger Street. And I have to tell you, this isn't really my bag, although looking at the art, and they had it inked and colored as well, is terrific. But it's very similar to those newsboys who were in the Jimmy Olsen books that I read. And I've never been a huge fan of it, but this is, it's great to see. Again, and even the initial pencil drawings from Kirby. So this is a treat of treats, and I cannot thank Shannon enough for this. This is a very special part of my collection, and I'm so glad I have it. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. I'll see you next time.